What's going on, lads and lassies? It's Ocean from the South Stand, back again with another video. Unfortunately, not as happy circumstances considering that Sunderland lost 1-0 to Fulham at the weekend. But not only did I want to talk about that today, I wanted to talk in general about Sunderland's season so far and the changing sort of tactics we've seen throughout the season, the changing systems we've seen throughout the season, and really discuss what suits Sunderland best and how it's going to be impacted by AFCON in the coming weeks, or in the coming months, should I say. It's weird because although they won't start until this beginning of January, we're actually discussing right now whether the players are going to leave us before the derby even. So yeah, lots to discuss in terms of that one. But before we get into today's video, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, like the video, get involved with the comment section, get involved in the conversation. I enjoy replying to pretty much everyone. I pretty much get round to every person in the comments, reply, having a discussion, discussing Sunderland. And this one, as per usual, is brought to you by the South Stand clothing. If you haven't already, you can go and check out the South Stand and see t-shirts like this one and this one. Over on the South Stand clothing, we've just launched 10 new t-shirts just in time for Black Friday, so you can get 20% off. Whether you're a new customer, whether you're a returning customer, you're all good. You can get 20% off for Black Friday with the code HAWAY20 at checkout. So let's jump right into things. So let's have a quick discussion about this game against Fulham, because I think there was plenty different about Sunderland and there was plenty to be frustrated about as well. We've obviously came out and we've seen the back five that we've lined up with. As I said in the last video, a back five or a back three is never going to be the system that I prefer. I always prefer a back four and allow those natural attacking options in that system. Obviously, with Sunderland so far, we've seen a back 3/5 used in a way that does allow us plenty of attacking options. None of that was on show against Fulham at the weekend, though. And it's a shame because I do feel, although I do respect Fulham quite a lot, and to be honest with you, and I think in the grand scheme of things, this loss to Fulham will mean nothing. I think it's a good Premier League side beating us on their day. And they beat us because they showed really something in their system that we lack in ours, and it's that real ability to play through the middle and dominate your midfield. And what I mean by that is, of course, we've had Xhaka and Siddiqui doing a fantastic job up until this point, but playing through the middle hasn't been something Sunderland have went for this season. It's been direct or it's been out wide through these nice tidy triangles that we like to play. That's all fine and well, but I think in a game like this one, which, first of all, I do think it was Regis Lebris. I do think it was a mistake on his part not to set up the team in such a way that we had enough numbers in midfield, because a lot of Fulham's best players are playing there. And yeah, you look at the likes of Josh King, who was able to really truly shine at the weekend against Sunderland, and that's not because Sunderland are just bad. I mean, this lad's a good player, and I think he's going to have a great breakout year this year, like he has already this season. But with this Sunderland team at the weekend, everything Fulham were great at was a weakness of our own squad. And I wanted to talk about it because when you look at this back five that we played with, we've seen at the weekend 5-4-1, a deep flying 5-4-1, not much creativity going forward. Realistically, the only creative outlets going forward were Bertrand Traore and Enzo Lefebvre. It was pretty much get the ball out to them and hope they can bring the rest into it. There was a complete and utter lack of anyone, though, in that kind of central area other than Wilson Isidore. Realistically, in fact, I'm going to pop up on screen right now. I'll put up on screen the back fives heat maps for this game. Now, that to other teams might not mean a lot, but when we look at Sunderland and how they've played so far this season, we've seen this back 3/back 5 a number of times. Now, the last time we played with a back four was against Wolves at home, and of course that was the last time we had Alderete in the lineup. I am missing his ability on the ball so much from this Sunderland squad whilst he's not in the team, and I'm hoping we're at the end of this concussion period now, because I know Reggie spoke about wanting him to get minutes whilst he was on internationals. Didn't happen because he was scrapping off the bench, but I think we need Alderete in this team, because when you look at the game against Wolves that we played a number of weeks ago, Sunderland progressed the ball so well through Alderete, and he plays into the middle of the park. I think with him being our best left-footed option as well in that back three, he really did connect the middle of the park to the back, and we've seen it this week. We've seen it in that game where the disallowed Wilson Isidore goal. Yes, it was Siddiqui who got the assist, but the pass before that was from Alderete. From the back line, it went Alderete into the middle with Siddiqui through to Wilson. And it's not really something I don't think we see a hell of a lot of when he's not on the pitch. But yes, like in that Fulham game when we played with back four, we see it Alderete and Ballard, the two centre halves, kind of spread themselves out like this onto like the edge of the box, standing a little bit forward. It allowed Hume and Mukiele to push up on the right, allow the support for those triangles and the way we like to work the ball up the side. And also we've seen the likes of Dan Ballard. Able to push all the way up alongside Wilson Isidore at times. Now, granted, this might not happen against a team like Fulham who are good, but Ballard didn't only push up because it was Wolves, because we've seen it in the very next game against Chelsea as well. Again, I'll show you the heat maps just now from the Chelsea game, and we see then in that back five, that this is the same back five that then went on to play Fulham. Look at the difference in how much those players though got up the field and how much they were supporting the forwards. If we revert back to the game against Fulham against Wolves in the back four, we've seen it at times where Ballard, Enzo, Wilson, and say for example Traore push up in this solid line up against their four defenders, and it makes it really hard for them to pick off or double up on the likes of Ballard, who are great at winning the first ball. Then we go into the game against Chelsea. Now, as I said, we play with the back five, and this is the first time we see the back five as a true back five in a 5-4-1 system. We see in this back five against Chelsea, as I just showed you, how Sunderland's back line were able to progress up the field. And in fact, there was a part in the first half, I'm pretty sure, where Dan Ballard was pretty much playing 1-2s with the likes of Granit Xhaka, assisting him, carrying the ball right up the centre of the park for Sunderland. And this completely displaced